Okay, we have to talk. This cannot keep happening. If you know a student nurse, a new grad, a nurse that's been in her career, his career for less than a year, send them this video. This is SheNurseSavvy, and I'm going to give you ways to keep your job because you work too hard to go through school, take your NCLEX, pass boards, and get your coin for you to be fired. Here are 6 common reasons why nurses get fired from their jobs. Some of them should be self-explanatory, but think about this because some people just forget and play like they're untouchable. You will get fired if this happens. An investigation will happen if you do these things, and it possibly can get your license removed. So number 1, we're going to talk about chronic tardiness or being absent. Nursing is already short-staffed. Your employer, your boss wants you to come to work on time. If you continue to be late multiple times in a week, in a month, in 6 weeks, that's going to be a red flag for them to look and see and talk to you. You may get a little write-up, you may get a verbal warning, but this is going to open up an investigation for them to try to get so many dings on your file to get you up out of that job. If you are late and you late a lot, that's a no-no. You got to do something better. You got to get up earlier. You got to get yourself organized the night before. You got to do something because jobs are not having you be tardy and keep you there. Also, being absent. If you didn't put in your PTO, prepare the others for that day that you didn't come, and that's a no-call, no-show, in some cases, that is an automatic termination. Think about that. If you need to call in, do that before not showing up at all. Immediate termination. Number 2, violating HIPAA, patient information, whether it's in person, somebody hear you talking to somebody else on the elevator and it's patient family or something there, whether it is online, you decide to type up something, make a social media post about it and post it. That's sensitive information, whether a name is in it or not, because some people are rare where they have certain conditions, and if you in the same area and somebody is looking at your stuff or shared your stuff, yeah, that's HIPAA. Or you put something on social media like a video, like people have done in the past that have lost their jobs. We're not doing that. Everybody should know about HIPAA. If you do not, Google it, because that is the first way for you to get fired as well as losing your license. Number 3, insubordination or refusing an assignment. You come to work not to work? What's that about? Employers, leadership, they are not trying to have that. They hire you to be of assistance, for you to help. If it's too much, of course, speak up for yourselves, but just refusing an assignment, that's a no. Why do they need to pay you if you're not going to be a team player? So if you refuse reasonable instructions or openly defy supervisors, that could be an easy dismissal, because now you disrespecting leadership. They may be in their feelings. They may report you to higher up. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to be their word over yours. So if you at a job and you're not trying to be a team player, it's time for you to go ahead and put in them 2 weeks, because they're not having that. Number 4, medication errors or unsafe practices. It is a reason why certain medications require in your facility 2 nurses to double check, like giving blood, checking insulin. You have to make sure that you're not making that medication error, because the medications that you draw up or that are already prepackaged that you just scan and let go but can react to a patient a different way, you have to be cautious. And if you're doing multiple med errors in administration, you're a liability. They don't want you to be in that facility with them, because it's showing that you just don't care and you just putting meds in a patient and you not looking at the right route, right dose. Come on now, nurses. Y'all know about those rights. Why would they want to keep you? You are more of a liability. You are something that possibly could be a lawsuit if someone does something that endanger a patient and passes away. So if they see all of these multiple errors from you and there's no changes, oh, no. You up out of there real quick. Number 5, unprofessional behavior or workplace misconduct. If you are bullying, harassing, fighting, or inappropriate conduct is being done while at work with coworkers or patients, they take that seriously. I literally went through this during a travel nursing assignment where there was another nurse that was trying to harass me. Now, being that was the only other nurse that did access, ports, pics, trialysis, they talked to her or whatever. I don't know if they wrote her up, whatever the case is. I was on a travel assignment, but you not gonna harass me, bully me, go in my chart, try to change information. That's a no-no. Not on my license, not on my book, without me saying something to your leadership, because I don't want it coming down on me. Because if I pop off, then that means, oh, I'm just the angry black woman. If she keeps to antagonize and harass on certain things that's done at that facility without them knowing, who gonna get out of there quicker? The travel nurse back then. She'll stay there and keep bullying and harassing the next people until they put their foot down. Previously, maybe they were scared to say something, but I wasn't. This is an older lady. She played a Karen vibe. No offense if your name is Karen. I wasn't having it. I was in there to get my coin, to service my patients. And while I was there, I got nominated for a daisy. So I did my part. But she wasn't about to make my contract there miserable by her going through all of my stuff. If you're going through all of my things, that's too much time in your office to look at what I'm doing for patients that you haven't assessed, but I did. Terrible. Number 6, falsifying documentation and timesheets. Now, we all know stealing time is a no-no. Why would you even do that? Back when, before I was a nurse, there was some people that worked at the same hospital that I worked at, quick story time, and they literally Xeroxed somebody's badge. So when it was time to clock in, they had a copy of that badge and they were able to put it on some type of card and slide it in. No joke. Just to help somebody else so that they won't be late. Why though? It wasn't putting no money in their pocket. But if they were caught, they losing their job. Why would you even do that? You trying to be a friend? A friend would say, look, you need to get here at a certain time. I can't help you because if I'm caught, we both caught, and now I'm out of my paycheck. Eventually, they had you to call a check-in line after you swiped in so that they knew the time that you were in the office and you had to call from that hospital's phone. So when the leadership would call to check those voicemails, they would get the phone number, which had to be the hospital number, not your cell phone, not somebody, oh, and this happened. They tried to call 3-way. So called on their cell phone to the job and had somebody else patch them through that check-in line. It is too much, okay? If you really enjoy your job, you need to talk to your manager about starting a little bit later. Of course, you're not going to immediately be fired unless you just no call, no show. But it's going to spark up an investigation. Whether they like you or not, they got to go by the rules. So with falsifying documentation, any dishonesty is a no-no. Do you know that these charts are legal documents that someone can take to court? Quick story time. There was a patient that was almost to the upper room. And I wasn't there that afternoon. I was completely off that day, but it was a regular patient that, and I can't say the details because I don't want to violate HIPAA, but there was somebody documenting this was seen, stuff is intact, and I can't tell you the specifics of where this was, but I know if this documentation was put as this area clean, visually seen, blah, 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 they didn't look. Because this patient was a dialysis patient and the needle dislodged. So when a needle dislodged from a dialysis patient, the patient bleeds. When they're on the machine goes off. It's not immediate always. And then they have to see what's going on. When you have a fistula, a graft, and the needle comes out, when it's used to having the blood pumping through a machine to clean it and bring the clean blood back into your body, you're going to bleed fast. So pressure needs to be put on the area tight to get that blood to stop. In this case, it did not happen. One of the workers went to the machine, They muted the machine, went back to another person. The person that was laying there next to the machine that was muted, they thought the person was asleep. When they got to that person, after taking care of the other one, when they got back to the person, they removed the blanket because the blanket covered everything. So the documentation of I see this, I seen that, everything neat, dry, intact, was false. When the blanket was removed, there was a pool of blood. The needle was dislodged and that patient needed to go to emergency quick. Now, falsifying documentation, you may think it's okay because that's the norm of what you're doing or whatever, and you don't think it's false. But if you didn't visually see what was going on with that patient, and that family member wants to take everything that you did to court, they automatically won the lawsuit because clearly you documented something that wasn't done and that patient was now unalive because of your lack of help during that time. Of course, the person that went to go over and help, they did their best to help this patient. They had, vitals, which was really low vitals. Took them to the ER, which was not that far. But the whole thing is, the next day, the family member's daughter came up to the job and I was there. Now remember, I wasn't there yesterday. Came up to the job, asked what happened. So bottom line is, falsifying documentation is not good. Don't have nobody do your time clock swipes. If you're going to be late, be late. Call and give them a, hey, I'm going to be 10, 15 minutes late. It's better than somebody swiping and they look around and find you not there, then you fired. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns about nursing, drop it in the comments. Hopefully this video will help you to keep your job. You know what? I think this is pretty much self-explanatory, but do not go live on your job on social media. You can't control everything somebody says in the background. You can't control what walks in front of you. You can't control anything but yourself. So your surroundings, the voices, whatever you have to do, automatically think HIPAA. Automatically think you out of here. Your license, your job is gone. You work too hard for that. I didn't think I had to put that in this video, but I did.